What's up guys, Turbo here back with another video. In today's video, I'm going to be doing my review on Beyblade Burst Rise episode 14 titled Shining Bright Hyper-Flux. So before we start this video, I'm just going to say this video will have spoilers on the episode, but if you guys have not seen the episode yet, I will leave a Google Drive link in the description below to where you can watch the episode. So like always, One Rise episode covers two Gotcha episodes, so this is covering episodes 27 and 28 of Beyblade Burst Gotcha. So yeah, let's begin with the analysis. So like always, the episode starts off with the Welcome to a World of Beyblade scene, and then the story continues from the previous episode where Dante was battling Iger, and Iger's in the lead of 2 points, and Dante is in shock because Iger burst him in the last battle. So then Dante gets pumped up, and he says he's been wanting to battle like this forever, and then Dante gets into a Dragon moment, and Dragon asks Dante if he was frustrated, and Dante says that he was not because he is battling Iger. And Dragon asks if he was just satisfied with battling against Iger, and Dante says he doesn't want to just battle Iger, but he also wants to defeat him. So then we get into the opening and title card, and then after that Dante decides to go with Ace Dragon. So then Iger gets into an Achilles moment, and Achilles says that he believes that Dante's possibilities are limitless, and Iger says they will do better in this round than they've ever done before to defeat Dante. And then Iger changes the modes on the Extend Plus tip and the Convert disc, but that's not seen. So then Dante and Iger get pumped up, and then Pang says that Dante's chi is stronger than ever before. And then now we're getting to the battle, which is Dante and Ace Dragon versus Iger and Union Achilles. And this is the second round, and once Dante and Iger launch into the stadium, Dragon hits Achilles, and then Dante and Dragon get into Dragon launch, and Dragon starts attacking Achilles. So then Iger and Achilles get into Unison Shield, which was originally Union Shield in Japan, and then Dragon is knocked away. So then Dragon jumps up the wall and takes the upper deck, and Dante remembers what Dragon said about being satisfied with just battling Iger, and then Dragon jumps off the upper deck, and then Dante heats up, and Dragon gets into Hyper-Flux, and then we get into Dragon's avatar. So then Dante gets serious, and Dragon goes fully gold, meaning Dante mastered Hyper-Flux. So then Iger heats up, and we get into Achilles' avatar, and Dragon and Achilles clash, and Achilles burst. So Iger's in shock, and now Dante and Iger are tied of 2 points, and Dante is happy that he burst Achilles and gets into a Dragon moment, and Dragon says they will give it all they got in this round now that they've evolved. And then Iger gets serious and changes the modes on the Extend Plus tip and adds the Union Sword to the layer base, but of course that's not seen. And now we're getting into the third round of the battle, and once Dante and Iger launch their base into the stadium, Achilles and Dragon clash at the center, and Dragon is knocked away. So then Dragon lands on the upper deck, and Dante and Dragon get into Spring Cannon, and then Iger and Achilles get into Unison Defense, which was originally Union Defense in Japan. So then Dragon is knocked away again, and Achilles starts chasing Dragon until Dragon jumps off the wall, and then Dante heats up, and we get into Dragon's avatar, and then Dragon gets into Hyper-Flux, and then Iger heats up, and we get into Achilles' avatar, and then Achilles gets into Hyper-Flux, and then Dragon and Achilles jump off the stadium's walls and then clash, and both bays are knocked out of the stadium, but Dragon hits the ground first, so Iger wins the battle. So Dante falls on his back after his defeat, and Iger picks up Dragon and gives it to Dante, and Dante tells Iger that he and Dragon will be even stronger in their next battle. And now the Battle Island Tournament's final match is about to start, and Iger will be battling Delta. And then Delta is seen in the waiting room and says that he will extinguish Iger's light permanently, and then part 1 of the episode ends. So now we're getting into the second half of the episode, which the English name for this part is Turbo Battle Iger vs Delta. And now the title match between Iger and Delta is beginning, and Delta is introduced, and Taka and Ichika believe that Iger will defeat Delta, but Dante says that Delta has gotten a lot stronger since he last battled him. And Iger tells Delta that he knew he would battle him, but Delta says that this will be the end of his days in the spotlight, and then Delta has that fiery look in his eye. So then Delta gets into a Devlos moment, and Devlos is excited to devour Achilles, and Iger has an Achilles moment, and Achilles says they can't lose, and Iger says they will go all out in the beginning, and Iger equips the Union Sword to the Union layer base, but of course that's not seen. So then Dante starts getting pumped up and says Venom Devlos will rise to the challenge, and then we see Blint, who still wants to see more of Delta's shadows. So now we're getting into the battle, which is Iger and Union Achilles versus Delta and Venom Devlos, and once we get into the battle, both Iger and Delta start off with powerful launches, and then Achilles goes in for an attack, and so does Devlos, and then Delta and Devlos get into Shining Launch, and then Iger and Achilles get into Unison Breaker, and both bays clash at the center, and Devlos is sent flying, and then Dante is seen acting like Delta, calling out Devlos' name, and Devlos lands on the upper deck, and Delta says that he will let Devlos savor its meal, since Achilles is the perfect prey. So then Delta and Devlos get into Dual Phantom, and Devlos splits in two, And then Devilos and Achilles clash at the center, and then Devilos' clone breaks him up, and Devilos and the clone start attacking Achilles. So then Delta and Devilos get into clone cannon, and then Iger heats up, and Achilles gets into Hyper-Flux, and then we get into Achilles' avatar. So then Iger and Achilles get into Unison Whip, which was called Union Slash in Japan, and then Devilos' bullet tip is knocked out of the stadium, and then Delta heats up and says he and Devilos will take out Iger's light, and then Devilos gets into Hyper-Flux, and then we see Devilos' avatar. So then Achilles and Devilos clash at the center, and both bays are knocked out of the stadium and hit the ground at the same time, so this round was a draw. So then the victories are shocked that Delta almost took a point from Iger, and Dante says that Delta might win. So then Delta starts resonating with Devilos and tells Devilos that Achilles won't get away this time, and Iger is wondering what is driving Delta so hard after seeing what he can do in the previous round, and starts resonating with Achilles, and Achilles tells Iger to concentrate and clear his mind, and they must stay with their way of blading. So then Iger changes Achilles' center of gravity, but that's not seen, and then Dante predicts that Delta will go with Erase Devilos for this round, and is right. So then Delta raises Devilos in the air with the fiery look in his left eye and says that he is the shining star, not Vault, and definitely not Dante. So then we see Tango, who asks how far does Delta tend to go, and now we get into the second round of the match, which is now Iger and Union Achilles versus Delta and Erase Devilos, and both Iger and Delta launch. So then we see someone entering the main arena, and a guard tells him that it is off limits, but still the dude runs past the guard. So then we see Iger and Delta's second battle, and both Iger and Delta are getting pumped up, and then we see the victories, and Dante is cheering for Delta, and then Armin notices the guy running, and he runs up to the stadium and launches his Bay in the stadium while Iger and Delta are battling, and once the Bay enters the stadium, it knocks Devilos back and sends Achilles flying, and Achilles ends up hitting Iger's championship belt, shattering the belt, and bursting Achilles, and then the intruder says that Iger is a disgrace. So then Delta gets annoyed because the intruder interrupted the battle, and then Devilos gets into Hyper-Flux and goes for the intruder's Bay, and the intruder's Bay, which is revealed to be called Prime Apocalypse, turns black, and then the intruder and Apocalypse get into Omega Blast, which was originally called End Blaster in Japan, and then Devilos and Apocalypse clash at the center, and there's an explosion in the stadium, and Devilos is sent flying and burst, and after the smoke from the explosion clears, it is revealed that the stadium was destroyed, and the stranger reveals that his name is Arthur Peregrine and says that his reign as the king of Beyblade has begun, and the episode ends. So anyways, Shining Bright Hyper-Flux was a good episode, and I did enjoy it, and the battles in this episode were good, but I wish we could have seen the rest of Iger versus Delta and got a final result. And I was also glad to see Arthur finally make his first appearance in the dub, and the voice acting for his character is really good, and I think it fits his character really well. But the problem I had with this episode is where Iger changes Achilles, and I did talk about this in the previous review about the disc, but they removed the scene where Iger equips a Union sword, which there was really no point of them doing that because it's going to be in the battles after he puts it on, and they also took out the scene where he changes the modes on the Extend Plus tip, and there was no point of them doing that because they kept it in Turbo, so they should have kept it in Rise also. So anyways, in the next review, I'll be going over episode 15, Invasion the New King, where Iger and Arthur battle, and that review will be coming out soon. So anyways, yeah, so thank you guys for watching this review. If you guys did enjoy, please leave a like, please subscribe, please follow me on social media, links will be in the description below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See you guys later.